Hello, fabulous Aries. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of June 2014 Love Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. Well, this month, what I find especially promising is that you have, as I mentioned last month, Mars beginning to go direct, will be gaining steam as you enter this month of June. And so this is likely a time when you really start to feel some progress taking place for you on many fronts, but especially on the love front. But what I find really interesting that speaks to your journey in love for this month is that starting in the middle of the month, Mars will begin to activate the now separating Grand Cross that was really on high. It was really exact in the month of April. Now, those of you who watch the weekly horoscopes, I've been talking about this whole time. And so this is sort of a reemergence of this. If you haven't been watching the weekly horoscopes, I'd encourage you to watch the ones that I recorded right around the middle of April, because it is a lot of those themes that are now going to reach resolution, especially the themes I discuss in the introductions to those weekly videos that I recorded in the middle of April. And so now, as we head into this month, and especially once you get into the middle of the month, Mars will speak to Pluto. And then towards the later part of the month, Mars will speak with Uranus before moving along. And a little bit later on, once we get past this month, Mars will speak with Jupiter as well, fully completing this separating Grand Cross, if you will. And what I find especially fascinating about all this and how all this is playing out is that it does suggest to me that there is the promise, if you will, of understanding more deeply the process that you've been engaged in since January. Well, since the very last days of December, but particularly once you entered January, you've been in this long-term process of looking at why you want what you want. What is it that draws you to others? And where is it maybe that you're putting passion to the side and kind of, I wouldn't want to say settling, but where maybe you are having different experiences as a part of understanding the role that physical attraction and physical connection is going to play for you and in your future where it relates to partnerships. And so in the middle of the month, with Mars speaking with Pluto, this to me does suggest that there is likely to be at least one sort of really intense moment of honesty that takes place for all of you, regardless of your relationship status, that has to do with recognizing where this person actually fits into your ultimate goals and where it is ultimately you want to go. But in a larger sense, I am going to say that normally, when I see this type of conversation playing out, now we can't say classically speaking because Pluto's a pretty new planet, but the way that this sort of configuration was initially understood was that this would denote sort of a feeling of whether it was powerlessness, whether it was strong, intense feelings coming up, in some cases some hurts coming up, or feeling that there is some hurt being put on you as well. This is a moment of honesty that leads to a reclaiming of your power. And wherever it is that you've sort of been brushing things to the side or brushing things under the carpet, as they say, this is going to be one of those moments when your feelings come up in a way that is undeniable. And this is so great. This is so great because it suggests not only honesty, but healing as well. This needs to happen if your relationships are going to move in a direction of being more fulfilling. Once we get you to the later part of the month, Mars will be speaking with Uranus. We'll stand across the sky from Uranus in your sign. And this is one of those sort of, I'm just going to say it, it's like a make or break moment, if you will. It's one of those moments when you decide that this has got to change if it's going to continue. And some of you really, I see you sort of leaving like ripping off a Band-Aid, if you will, sort of saying, okay, this has run its course. I get it. And saying, okay, let's move forward. Or I'm moving forward without you, depending on your unique circumstance. But regardless of how that plays out, it looks like you are feeling like finally something is going forward. Something is moving. And that's what really matters here, that the energy that before might have felt stuck, or maybe you felt something brewing for a while, but you weren't really ready to tap into it or acknowledge it or do anything about it. Now You are braver than ever, and you're willing to take action and embrace change more than you have in a very long time, actually. And so I would say to you, given the fact that we also have this full moon happening in the middle of the month that is speaking harmoniously with Uranus in your sign, I put all this together, and it does suggest to me that you've got the right amount of optimism, belief in yourself, belief in the world, and that the universe is on your side enough to be really honest with yourself about what changes you wish to experience. And where it is that you can experience that change in the context of your relationship, you will recommit to that bond. You will feel the strength and intensity of that bond more than ever. And where it is that you know now, based on your experiences over the past few months, that this bond or this alliance or this attraction is not likely to provide you with what it is that you're going for in a larger sense, you will be ready to say, thank you so much for the learning. Now I'm ready to move forward and learn in some different contexts going forward from here. There is a sense of self this month, again, regardless of what your current relationship status is, regardless of where you are right now in love. There is going to be greater honesty. There is going to be a greater depth of understanding as to what it is that you are going for in love. But more than that, there is going to be some decisions that will be made as to what direction it is that you are going to go that's going to be best for you and that you know is going to move you towards greater love and wisdom as well. Thank you for watching. It'll be a great month. Be fabulous and enjoy.